1 year ago, in a laboratory silent enough to hear the heartbeat of a single cell. The white light reflected off microscopes that were searching for the ghost in the machine. Jesus stood beside the scientists and the cold steel of the incubators, watching Jeff look through the lens at a future where age is just a variable to be reprogrammed. He wasn't looking for a cosmetic cure or a temporary fix. He was looking for the reset button of the human biological clock. He realized that the greatest friction in the universe is the slow, inevitable fading of the light. Back then, the world accepted mortality as the ultimate law, the one contract you couldn't negotiate. We lived in the shadow of the sunset, rushing to build our empires before the darkness came. But Jeff, he was like a coder looking at a corrupted file, refusing to let the data be lost. He gathered the greatest minds, the Nobel priests of biology, and gave them the gold of a king. To find the chemical spell that tells a cell to remember its youth, he spent his fortune not to buy time, but to invent a world where time no longer has the power to destroy the ones we love. He planted a seed that the skeptics called the fountain of hubris, but the divine called it the persistence of the spark. The critics whispered, "Is he afraid to die? Does he think he can outrun the scythe of the reaper?" But Jesus smiled because he knew the origin of the hunger. The desire to live forever is the faint echo of the home from which the soul first came. Jeff wasn't trying to be a god. He was trying to prove that the human project is never truly finished. For this biological revolution, Jeff became the architect of the eternal spring. He moved away from the logistics of boxes to the logistics of life itself, studying the Yamanaka factors with the same intensity he once gave to book deliveries. He spent his nights wondering if a grandfather's wisdom could be preserved in a body that never grows tired, believing that if we can fix a broken engine, we can fix a broken genome. He was proving that the ultimate innovation is not a gadget you hold in your hand, but the breath that stays in your lungs. In the quiet glow of the petri dishes where old cells began to dance like new, the gears of the great rejuvenation started to click. It wasn't a cry of fear, it was a shout of defiance. Jeff was proving that a grain of wheat, if it is willing to decode the secret of its own life, can refuse to return to the dust. The laboratory was cold, and the math was hard, but through that microscope, the man who mastered the earth was finally trying to master the biology of the soul.